What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NFL DFS contenders on FanDuel for Sunday Night Football, Rams and Titans. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comment section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders. Finally, shout out to No House Advantage for being the presenting sponsor of this video. Use the promo code Awesemo when signing up. Get a little bit of extra money on that first deposit. Now we are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Julio Jones, Tyler Higbee, Adrian Peterson, Robert Woods, and Van Jefferson on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we're going to Cooper Kupp. You got to pay all the way up though. $16K for Kupp. He's projected for 20.5 fantasy points. The Rams are 7-point favorites against Tennessee, 52.5 point total. It's the number 9 offense at PFF against the number 14 defense. Kupp has a 32% chance to go for more than 25 fantasy points. That's a really big ceiling. 27% likelihood that he is in the optimal spot at the MVP, which means you're probably looking for like 23, 24 to get there for Kupp, plus another 21% at the flex. All told, that's 49%. We're at basically a coin flip for Cooper Kupp, but 16K is a really healthy price tag. You can see how low his flex percentage is. What you really need out of Kupp is a big day. Otherwise, it gets a little difficult to fit him into an optimal lineup if he's not going full ceiling mode. Edging out Cooper Kupp at number 4 is Matt Stafford. He is 17K, projected for 22 fantasy points. Rams, same matchup. Obviously, every passing touchdown, you're expecting Matt Stafford to be on the other end of it. 36% chance for Stafford to go for more than 25. 27% chance at MVP, 24% at flex. Stafford's basically in the exact same position as Cooper Kupp. Just has a little bit higher of a floor because he's a quarterback, but we're talking about 51% and 49%. For all intents and purposes, those are the exact same numbers. You've got to pay a lot of money for Stafford and Kupp. And when you do, you're probably going to Adrian Peterson because he's cheap. But I think Stafford and Kupp are both priced appropriately given the fact that their ceilings are massive. At number 3, we're going to Ryan Tannehill at just 14K. Titans are 7-point dogs in this spot. Tannehill's projected for 18 fantasy points. It's the number 2 offense at PFF against the number 1 defense. So something's going to have to break there. 20.5% chance to go for more than 25 fantasy points. I think that's pretty reasonable for Tannehill. 14% likelihood to be the optimal MVP. You know, a little bit lower than the guys like Cooper Kupp and Stafford. But you get that back in utility at the flex spot. 38% chance there. That's enough to get Tannehill ahead of Stafford, enough to get Tannehill ahead of Cooper Kupp. This price tag works for Tannehill, and I still think there's a pretty sizable ceiling. It's not as if he doesn't have the weapons. This is the number 2 offense after all. Tied at the top spot, but loses the tiebreaker. Darrell Henderson is in at number 2, 13K, projected for almost 17 fantasy points. Another Ram, so good luck picking between Henderson, Kupp, and Stafford. You could probably only get to really 2 of the 3 without really taking some chances on some cheapos. We know the matchup at this point. 18% likelihood for Henderson to go for more than 25 fantasy points. Just a 10% chance that he's the optimal MVP, which means that even if he goes for 25, he might not be in that MVP spot. 45% likelihood that he's in the flex, however. That gets you to 55%. It's tied for the top, but just shy of that number 1 spot. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, and follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Plus, go check out No House Advantage for being the presenting sponsor of this video. We close it out at the top with the best combination of upside and price. That is AJ Brown. He is 12K, projected for 15.5, we'll say, fantasy points. It's going to be a very difficult matchup, but AJ Brown has a monstrous ceiling. 18% chance to go for more than 25 fantasy points. 12% likelihood to be at the optimal MVP. But because he's just 12K, he's got another 42% at the flex spot. To me, that's perfect. That gets AJ Brown into the optimal lineup 55% of the time. That's good enough to tie Darrell Henderson, and in my opinion, just slightly beat him because of the ceiling and because of that 12K price tag. He's the easiest guy to get to. AJ Brown is my number 1 contender on FanDuel this week. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NFL DFS contenders on FanDuel for Sunday Night Football, Titans and Rams. DraftKings version of this video is around here somewhere. Make sure you're checking it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. I will be back again tomorrow morning for another edition of The Contenders.